Agents, what's up? Patrick Wolf here. Today's video is a very special one. I've been working on a build and it started off a bit shaky. I was wondering, I'm going to make this build. But as the pieces came together and the more I tested it, the more I realized this is the best build I've made in TU5 so far. You guys are going to love this build. This build is called the Pyro Medic build. You can do massive amounts of fire damage while healing you and your team up to 60,000 armor per second. It's ridiculous. And you can do 900,000 damage per shot of your chem launcher to NPCs when you ignite it. So this is the Pyromedic build. So the first thing you guys need to do before you start making this build is you need to make sure that you are using the survivalist specialization. The reason being is because this build is going to be focused around fire damage and healing. So you guys are going to want, this is nice, you get the passive talent, gives you 15% increased protection from elites. This is a PvE build, but you can use this in PvP, but I wouldn't recommend it too much. You can try, it's a bit situational, but it's up to you guys. You can give it a try. You can do a lot of damage with it, by the way, but this is a PvE build. So triage. So we get 15% increased outgoing healing. This is good for your team because we're going to be using two methods of healing. Now this is the one method, so make sure the Mender Seeker Mine is fully maxed out. I'm going to be using an assault rifle, so make sure you get the right talents active. And this is important as well. Crunch time. This while in cover, gain 10% skill haste. Because you're going to want to be in cover with this build. You don't even have to. It can heal you. You can tank a lot of damage while healing. But if you're doing heroics, it's not a good idea. They're just going to rip through you. So this is more of a solo heal. If you're playing solo, you use the Seeker Mine. It heals you very quickly. It's a little bit more effective than the other method of healing that we're going to be using, which is the Hive. But like I said, it depends if you're playing with a team or solo. So this build is great for team play. Very, very strong for team play. So let's get into this build, guys. As you can see, we have got 250k armor rounded off, which is actually pretty good for a 14 electronics build. So we got 2, 6, 14. 2 firearms, 6 defense, and 14 electronics. There's a reason for that. So we've got 2,300 skill power because we don't want to just go crazy into the skill power. Even though we got 14, I'll show you how we got that. It's a beautiful thing called ongoing directive, which is underused right now. So the gun, what are we going to be using? Since we're going to be using fire damage and fire skills, make sure that your gun has ignited. Ignited gives us 20% damage to burning enemies because you're going to be burning enemies left, right, and center. So make sure you have this on your gun. It's very important for this build. Then we're going to be running the Nemesis. Why is that? Because when you mod your P416 or whatever assault rifle or whatever gun you're using with ignited, you need to make sure you have an ACOG scope on. This will give you optimal range, but it's about the 25% headshot damage that you will get from the Nemesis holstered talent. So that's very important as well. Alright, so don't worry about whatever sidearm you're going to be using. So we're going to need to use 3-piece ongoing directive for this build. The reason being is you can get your electronics very high, and that's important for the BTSU gloves. We'll get into that shortly. So this gives us weapon handling, which is actually very nice for console players. You guys will really enjoy this if you're on console. It really does help all aspects of aiming your gun. Stability, recoil, everything like that. It's very good. Then the 3-piece gives us 25% burn damage, which really does increase the damage by a lot, especially when you stack it with the BTSU gloves. So it's very important to make sure that the 3-piece is active. And we've actually got 390 skill power with 17% damage to elite. So if you really want to push this, you can put a massive amount of DT, maybe like 45%. So you can push it if you want. So all the mods that we're going to be using on this gear, a lot of utility mods, go for Chem Launcher and Hive or Seeker Mine. So then you can stack your skill power because our skill power isn't that high because this is more of like a hybrid build. So just make sure that you use as many Chem Launcher and Hive skill power mods as you can. So then this is the chest piece. So now I use this because it's a decent roll. Now, the grenade damage is nothing great. I'd rather go for skill haste. So we've got 414 skill power, 16k armor. 12% grenade damage is not really going to help us. I mean, it might help with the Inferno grenade. You could probably look at it as that. So you could actually use that, I guess. But it would be better to have skill haste as we want our chem launcher to come back as quick as possible. So as you can see here, you can actually get explosive damage rolls on your utilities. I just put these on because they're my high rolls. But you can actually do that if you want to make a Seeker Mine build as well. That's just a little note from my previous build. So then the holster. You just want to be rolling as much skill power and skill haste as you want. As you can see there, extra outgoing healing is perfect for helping your teammates regain their armor from your hive if you're using a hive. And then Chem Launcher skill power is great. That just allows you to do massive damage because of the mods that your skill power. I think my skill power is probably about 2,900 on my chem launcher because of all the mods. So it's very important to make sure you don't miss those mods. Then the backpack, I've just gone for this one. Now the reason being is to get my armor up to 250k because we don't want to be too squishy with tech support. So now what this does is it actually refreshes, guys. So every kill you get with a skill, it refreshes. So you're constantly getting 25% skill damage, which is very important. Don't worry about the 10 seconds because it'll always be up. So always have this on your skill power builds. I recommend it. Nice little health roll, armor roll, and skill haste. Very nice. I like this backpack. It works well with the 5% total armor as well. You can use whatever backpack you want. Just make sure you try and have tech support on. It's very important. So the knee pads. 245 skill power. I've gone for this Fenris because it gives me an extra 10% weapon damage for my assault rifle, which is nice. Nice skill power rod, then damage to elite and patience. So I can further increase my healing. So the medic part of the build really comes into play with all these little talents. Alright, so the most important thing, BTSU gloves. You guys need to get these. So how is it going to work? As you guys know the talents, I don't want to explain them again and again. So what happens is, guys, this is where it gets extremely interesting. So while you're infused, that's when we put someone on fire, whether it be a grenade or with the chem launcher, not only going to do lots of damage, but we get 10% skill damage, skill healing repair, and duration for each electronics that you have. We have 14 electronics. This is why this build is so ridiculously strong, that we can get massive amounts like 60k a second healing all our teammates and yourself every second. 60,000 armor you get back from your hive. It's got a massive range. It's just ridiculously strong. So that's why we have so many electronics, and that's why ongoing directive is really nice from all the electronic mod slots that we get. So we can have massive amounts of utility from this. So it's very important to do this because it stacks. When you shoot the Firestarter chem launcher, you then drop your healing element, whatever you're using, and then it's buffed by a ridiculous amount. It's like 140% buff just from using the BTSU gloves because of our electronics slots. So it's very important that you guys get these gloves and have this on the build. Otherwise, it's not going to work. All right, so let's get into the interesting part now. So why have we gone for this ball healer? So if you guys didn't know, this is very good. It follows you around. This is not good for groups. So you actually do get buffs to heal your teammates, but it only sticks to one person. Now I know it does drop a heal that you can constantly run back and forth through it. So this is perfect for solo play. When you drop this, as you can see, guys, I'm going to 43k healing, but this goes up massively. It goes to like over 60,000 with all the other buffs. So you're getting massive healing and you can run through it about 3 times before it disappears. So this guy is perfect for solo play. You can run around the dark zone and really just continuously heal yourself. It's ridiculous. So make sure when you're modding it, everything is active. So I've got plus 73% healing, 80% skill haste, and 56% healing. Massive, massive buffs. So make sure you guys have the best mods. You need to craft a lot of these mods because there are some really massive rolls on these mods. Now, if you guys don't want to use this build solo and you want to actually really benefit your team in a massive way, you're going to be using the Hive. This is what I run this build with. I just wanted to show you guys first of all with the Seeker Mine because I know a lot of people like to play solo as well. But in the harder content, you're going to want to help heal your teammates. So this is why we need to make sure we run the Hive. Now, I have got really bad mods for this, guys. 48% charges is quite nice and 63% radius. Radius and charges is the most important thing. Healing would be perfect in this slot. I don't know which slots you can put it in, but make sure you get a nice big heal buff, which would actually make this build ridiculously better. But I unfortunately don't have the right mods. The charges and radius is nice because it increases the size of it, so you can run around in a bigger radius and heal your teammates. It just helps with healing the whole team wherever they may be. But if I could get like 100% healing, guys, we could really push this. So you can see here, healing is 37k to everybody. So you can and you got 37 charges. So you can do 37k healing 37 times, which is ridiculous. So make sure to get these mods. You could probably push this to 70k, 80k, which would be ridiculously strong. So that's just a quick note. You can change between the healing Seeker Mine or this Hive, depending on whether or not you're playing solo or you're in a team. So then this is where the build is quite fun. I'm not even going to lie, guys. This is ridiculous. I've got 8 bullets in this, right? 200,000 damage. Now, as you can see from the footage in the beginning of the video, I'm hitting 860 odd thousand damage to each enemy. You one-shot elites. Guys, you will one-shot an elite. If you're BTSU gloves, the energy infusion is procced. You'll one-shot absolutely anything. It doesn't matter what it is because of the duration and the burn damage as well, which stacks on top of that. And then the 20% damage from your weapon. It's absolutely ridiculous. You're healing yourself with this build all the time, and you're putting out massive amounts of damage. So the mods I have is 96% damage and plus 6 ammo. Very important with the ammo. Otherwise, you'll be sitting wasting time trying to regain your cooldowns, even though I could make this lower. So it depends what you want to go for. I actually would recommend maybe even just going for like 150% skill haste there because you'll still be doing massive amounts of damage and probably still one shot and then bring your cooldown to like 10 seconds. So the best part of this build, guys, is that you run around, you shoot the fire starter chem launcher, and the thing to remember is you just click one button to switch to your gun to ignite it. But the thing is once it's ignited, you just keep shooting your chem launcher and it just automatically ignites the next one, the next one, the next one. So it's like a wall of fire, and it's actually really fun to watch. Like if you see someone just burning the entire map of enemies, it's one of the coolest things I've seen in a while. I have made a Firecrest build before, but this is just blows it out the water, obviously because it's a TU5, and I'm very happy to bring you guys the Pyro Medic build. This build is extremely strong and a lot of fun to use. So let's have a look at the stats screen before we leave this video, guys. Armor is actually really nice. I'm happy with the armor roll. We could probably go for more skill power, but it's not really needed. You want to still be able to do damage and be a bit tanky. So skill haste is very nice, 35%. We can make it more. You can roll it on your gear. It's all up to you guys. You can adjust this build however you want. You could probably make it better. I mean, you could use different knee pads and have different kinds of mods on there. Maybe an extra 20% skill haste would be ideal. But I like to use certain talents of my assault rifle damage and being in cover with patience. So it's up to you guys. But anyways, everything else is pretty nice. Health regen 23k, that's actually quite important. Then we've got max health of 44k, which is not great, but remember that we're going to be healing our armor constantly. So that's why we've rather gone for a bit more armor and less health. So anyways, guys, this is the Pyro Medic build. I hope you guys did enjoy this video. Please give it a try. It's really fun, very good. And anyways, guys, please leave a like, subscribe, and I will be seeing you agents in the next video. Peace out, boys.